He hails from Cowra, New South Wales, Australia, and is 26 years of age, turning 27 in November. He's had spells with Coventry, Poole and Plymouth before first becoming a Rebel in 2014. His name is Todd Kurtz, and we are shadowing him on camera in this edition.
Just before the meeting tonight, we've got Todd Kurtz with us, and of course, Todd, we're going to be shadowing you tonight, so you can have the camera right with you everywhere you go. It's not going to make you nervous, is it?
Nah, obviously, you know, when you're riding and there's plenty going on, so you're normally pretty focused on what's happening, so yeah, it should be alright.
Okay, just a little season roundup so far. How are you finding your season going?
It's pretty up and down, really. We've had a few good ones and a few not so good ones. So yeah, just trying to iron out the creases, really. Obviously, you know, you want things to work good all the time and not just every now and then. So yeah, probably a bit more consistency would be good, and we're working on that at the minute.
And how is it riding under Gary May again?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously, I've ridden with Gazza plenty of times in the past and had a season here previously in 2014, I think it was. So yeah, I see him around a lot, and he lives down in Poole where I live as well. So yeah, get on well.
Okay, we're going to speak to Jake later on, but how good is it to have Jake Barrett in your corner?
Yeah, Jake's cool. Obviously, he's so enthusiastic. You nearly need to tell him to slow down sometimes. You know, he wants to help you any way he can, and yeah, you pretty much don't have to worry about too much because you know he's got it covered.
Now, we're just feeling now that the rain's just starting to come in. Hopefully it's just a shower. You've been out and looked at the track. What do you think?
It's looking okay. We've had a few problems with it, you know, being a little bit inconsistent and slightly different each week. Somerset was always sort of known for being such a good racetrack and the outside line and stuff like that, but I know they're working hard behind the scenes to get it how we want it, but yeah, obviously I'm not, it's not my profession to make a track. I can only give my opinion, and same with the other boys, so yeah, we'll get out there and have a go and see what happens.
Now, of course, we're against Berwick Bandits today. I've had a look at the league table. Berwick second from bottom, you guys fourth at the top there. But on paper, it doesn't mean anything. It's 14 guys going out there and racing, and on their day, you're all good, competent riders. Yeah,
that's right. We don't really take any meeting any differently. We want to win no matter who comes to Somerset. We want to make sure we win, and Gazza makes that pretty clear that we need to leave here tonight with 3 points regardless of who we're versing, so yeah, it's just another match really.
Just one more question before we let you go then. We see you go out, we see you on parade and you do the practice lap, but you of course go out in heat 1. So how important is that practice to check your clutch, check everything's working? So you haven't got a lot of time, you know, riding at number 2 in heat 1.
Yeah, of course. When you go out there, obviously I don't really mess about too much. I try and just get out and do what I got to do and get back into the pits and be ready for heat 1. So, you know, if you mess about, that extra 25-30 seconds could, you know, make a big difference if something needs to be changed or something's not right. So yeah, just try and get out there, do what I got to do, get back in and get ready for heat 1. And it's always good when your first pairing in heat 1 gets off to a good start, so that's really important. Obviously it lifts your team spirit, and especially the reserve boys watching about to go out in heat 2 want to see us do well, and if we do the job then it gives them confidence as well, so it's important to get off to a good start.
Well, I want to see you do well tonight. Enjoy the night. We'll speak to you a little bit later, but for now, ride safe, ride fast and enjoy it, yeah?
Cheers, thank you.
Since first riding for Somerset in 2014, Todd has ridden for Plymouth, Sheffield and Leicester, but was called back over the winter by the Rebels.
Hello, I'm Jake Barrett, Todd's mechanic, and we're just going to run through things on the bike tonight. So we've got the sprocket on here. We use the smaller sprockets. Some people use the bigger sprockets and things like that. So we've got the clutch, which Todd sorts. Underneath we've got the primary chain, which we run at set length and set tension. Under here we've just got the carby. The black box, that's the ignition. So yeah, there's things like that. As the track changes during the night, we change the wheelbase, we change the sprocket, we can change the jet depending on the weather and the timing. Obviously we have a starting sprocket that we start on, and sometimes he'll go and walk the track and then we come back, and if the track's different then we will change the sprocket, change the wheelbase. We run the wheelbase 3/4 today, so you can run it where we're running it 3/4, you can run it halfway or you can run it really far forward, but we don't normally do that depending on the track. Sometimes we'll just move it forward, we'll keep the same sprocket and we'll change the wheel length. The tyre pressure, we'll it depends on the rider. We run it at a set PSI. So yeah, different riders, depending on their weight, their height and things like that, then they just change it, things like that.
Now you said that Todd does his own clutch. Is that, and we know that Jason Doyle last year said that every rider should do their own clutch. He's pretty finical about that, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. The only time I'll touch it is if he goes and does a start and comes back, and he'll say to me whether we turn it in, we turn it out, whether it's too harsh or not enough. So, but as a mechanic, I always say to a rider, whoever I help, when I've helped Doyley in the past, Brady, Todd, Jake Allen, people like that, the one thing they do is their clutch and their timing to start with, and then obviously you can change it during a meeting, whether you go up or down.
Now you take him out for the heats, you push him off. Now when you push him off, what do you do as a mechanic? What are you watching for? What are you ready for?
Anything. Chains to come loose, chains to break, obviously you change them, you fix them all up, and yeah, just different things like chain tension and things like that.
And then of course if anything does happen out there, you've got to be ready with
everything. This is all on the tray here. So we got the back wheel spanner. We've still got the tyre levers here, but we don't need them now.
That's a tachometer, isn't it?
No, we just have the 6mm Allen key, the 4mm Allen key for the timing, the 13mm, and we keep the circlet pliers, so if we need to spray the chain, just to keep it well oiled and so it doesn't smoke. When you see people smoking, like the chains smoking out, obviously the chains are burning, so you got to keep them really nice and moist, really.
Excellent. All right, well look, we know you're busy, we're going to let you go. Let's have some action, we'll come and talk to you a little bit later.
Cheers.
Todd came into the side with a 5.91 average and has been riding in the unfavourable number 2 berth for Somerset all season. He's seen that figure reduced to 5.38 for the month of July. The way his rolling averages work, his previous 20 matches up to including June the 23rd were taken into consideration. In League, Cup and Championship Shield beatings this season, Todd has taken 57 rides so far. 11 of those have resulted in outright wins, and a further 5 times he's claimed a paid win. In those 57 outings, only twice has he failed to complete a ride, and in total Todd has failed to score in only 17 heats.
Okay, before the start of tonight's meeting, we've got co-team manager here, Steve Bishop. Steve, we're shadowing Todd Kurtz tonight. You've worked with Todd for quite a while now, because he was racing for the Rebels back along as well. What does Todd bring to the team?
He brings really mid-order stability to the team, really. You know, you're always going to get them mid-order points from Todd. On his day, he can beat anybody around here and elsewhere. And if he's having a little bad spell, he drops to reserve, and then you've got the best reserve in the country. But more often than not, he's that mid-order stability that you always need in a team, because you can't field a team with number ones or people going to be number ones. And if you're picking someone for a good scoring in the middle, then Todd's your man.
So that's what he does on track, but also in the pits, he's very chilled, isn't he? Very relaxed always.
Very relaxed, yeah. Well, I've probably once or twice seen him upset, but yeah, he's very calm, nice chap. We'll talk to any of the others. It's good for the team spirit, good atmosphere, and yeah, he's enjoyable to work with.
Okay, well, before tonight's meeting, I'm going to put you on the spot. No one will know this until it goes out, but how do you think he's going to get on tonight? I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you reckon?
How's Todd going to go?
Yeah.
Let's say, I reckon he's going to get 9 tonight.
9 points? Any bonus?
We'll see. Yeah, you should have 2 bonus.
9 and 2 bonus. We'll come back at the end and get you. All right,
rightio. Cheers.
Well, Steve Bishop expecting a very big score from Todd tonight. No pressure then. 9 plus 2 means that Todd can only afford to drop 1 point to an opponent. With the rain abated, it is now time to get out on track and get a feel for conditions. Riding at number 2, Todd is scheduled to be out in heats number 1, 6, 8 and 10. His starting positions in each of those will be determined by how the coin toss goes when the riders are introduced to the crowd. During the introductions, Rebels skipper Chris Harris won the toss and opted to go for gates 1 and 3. And so that positioned Todd on the inside for heat number 1. He'll switch to gate 3 for his second outing, and then will occupy gate 4 at heat 8, which is the only occasion he won't be riding out with Rory Schlein. Heat 10 sends Todd off gate 2 for this evening's meeting. Introductions completed, practice starts fulfilled, it's back in the pits for those last minute adjustments ahead of heat number 1. Both Todd and Rory from gates 1 and 3 were out-trapped by the very sharp starting Jai Etheridge in gate number 2 in the yellow helmet for the Bandits, and as the race progressed, Todd Kurtz surrendered second place to Rory Schlein, allowing the number 1 to try and put some pressure on Etheridge, but in the end the Rebels having to settle for a 3-3, so certainly Steve Bishop's prediction this evening is not going to become a correct one, as the start for Todd not really what he wanted. But it's time to get back into the pits and look over the machine and see if there's any tweaks needed ahead of heat number 6.
Zack Cook, you're also in Team Todd Kurtz camp tonight, helping him out. There was a flurry of activity just before the parade there. Looked like a shortening of the wheelbase. What was happening there?
No, we had to swap bikes. There's an oil leak inside the motor there coming into the ignition, so we can't ride that one, so he's had to jump on the spare one at the last minute and, yeah, obviously swap everything over and get it ready.
This is what people don't realise. You're all chilled in the pits, you're ready, and then you find something like that and all of a sudden you're all on it, all hands to the deck.
Yeah, anything can happen last minute, and yeah, it's a big rush to get everything ready in time, and yeah, luckily there's obviously a few boys that help everyone out, so it makes it a lot easier.
Okay, so his first ride, he come in third there behind Rory there. Any changes to the bike?
Not so much, just the track was a bit patchy, I think, and the bike felt alright for him, so yeah, I think we're just going to run with that and see what happens.
Right, awesome, thanks for your time.
No worries, thank you.
I just didn't know when it was done, that was all.
Delighted to be joined on the centre green now by the Rebels number 2, Todd Kurtz. So Todd, beat yourself Rebels 2 points up off the first few heats. A lot's been said about the track recently. What's it like out there tonight?
It was a bit difficult, to be honest. They put some new material on last week, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time for it to mix together properly and get the right kind of surface we're looking for. But yeah, I mean, like you said, 2 points up, so yeah, keep battling on.
Always important to get off to a strong start and for you guys to be in the lead early on. How are you finding it riding with Rory?
It's good. Obviously, I get on well with Rory in the pits and off the track and stuff like that. So that helps a lot when we do come to the tapes. Yeah, we probably had a pretty good battle then, but we should be fighting the other guys, not each other. But we didn't really get in each other's way, and the score ended the same at the end of the 4 laps. So yeah, hopefully we can get up the pointy end and get a few more points together.
Obviously, we've got Nico Cavati back after a few meetings out with injury. How important is it for the Rebels that he's back and firing?
Well, he left on, he was scoring a lot of points when he left, and it's a big gap to fill in the middle of the team like that when he's on the sidelines. So yeah, it's great to have him back. I know he's not 100% fit, but he's a tough guy and he's going to battle on, and he proved that in his race already.
I mean, we were lucky with guest bookings and they scored some points, but it's great to have him back, isn't it?
Yeah, there's nothing better than a full team. Obviously, you can jag a good guest here and there, but it can also backfire on you pretty quickly as well. So yeah, we want a full team for the rest of the season.
Perfect. Well, best of luck tonight. The tractor racing's finished, so that means you've got to get back to it for the time being. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd Kurtz. Thanks, mate.
No worries.
Heat number 6, and so it's gate number 3 for Todd Kurtz, and on the inside was the fast starting Rory Schlein, who sped away very quickly and went on to create a new track record at the Oak Tree Arena of 55.15 seconds. All the while, Todd was putting pressure on the rider in white, Nikolai Busk Jakobsen, and tried to improve on his third place. But in the end, it was a 4-2 and a second point of the night. So that's 2 paid 3 for Todd Kurtz after 2 rides.
Yeah, didn't think it was that fast, but always wanted at this stage to not be in front. Yeah, the way.
Okay, Jake, Todd's just about to go out for his third ride. 2 third places and a bonus so far behind Rory. So What's the mood in the camp?
It's good. We didn't get the start we wanted. We had to change bikes really early before we went out for the first one because there was a few problems with the engine. So we've jumped on the spare bike. Seems to be going okay. A couple of changes and hopefully we'll get the win this time.
This is the heat that we really look towards Todd to bring home the bacon, if you like.
Yeah. This is his race. This is what we say. This is his race. So hopefully this is the one.
All right. Cheers.
Well, unfortunately, Todd couldn't make this one his race as the team had hoped. Out on gate 4, he didn't make the best of starts and conceded too much ground by the first turn to Jai Etheridge in white and Liam Flint in yellow. Try as he did to find some speed to allow a pass, it was a cricket wicket score of a 1-1-1 for Todd with 3 of his 4 rides out of the way. Hardly time to catch your breath if you're number 2 at this stage of the meeting as your 4th programme ride hastily approaches. Heat 10 it is and the Rebels trail 25-29 to the Berwick Bandits. Todd partners up again with Rory Schlein, and whilst Todd had the better of the starts of the 2 Rebels, Schlein had the better line and quickly took up the lead, leaving Todd to scurry against Danny Gatmeyer. But by the checkered flag, it was a 3rd place of the night for the Cowra boy and a 4-2 for the Rebels. We hope you've enjoyed that insight into a night at the Speedway with Todd Kurtz, and a special thanks to Todd for his cooperation in making this special edition, something that wouldn't have been possible without the support of SBS Epos.
Okay, Todd Kurtz, 4 rides, 4 points and a bonus point there. Hard work tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Obviously, it's a pretty disappointing score. Nobody really wants to come and score 4 points. Yeah, it's been a tight match, and we could have done with a few extra points there. Not just for myself and for the team, really, but yeah, just need to make some starts and get some fresh air, and I'm sure things would be different.
It seemed very settled early on, and then of course you had those problems in the pits. You had to change bikes, and it kind of really happened since then. The guys have been working really hard in your pit tonight, and you've been working hard on track, battling for what you could do, but it's an uphill battle all night, isn't it?
Yeah, so the bike we wanted to ride, we found was leaking oil just before the meeting started, so we had to make a quick change onto the other one. It was okay, but it wasn't really doing what I wanted it to, and I wasn't making any starts at all, so we've had to rip the clutch plates out and swap them over to the bike I was riding, and it seemed to be a lot better in the last one, but yeah, it was all just a bit late, so there's not a lot of time when you're riding at number 2. Yeah, they push things through pretty quick, and yeah, it makes it difficult.
Well, thanks for letting us shadow you tonight, and we move on to the next meeting, and yeah, stay safe, mate.
No problem, thank you.